Define those travels as you can. As always. What's going on, everybody? How is everyone doing out there? Welcome, Goglings, Gogorifics, Gog Peoples, Gogs of the World Unite. I hope everyone is doing well and is looking forward to our session today, as it is December 13th. Welcome to episode 354 of Pen and Pixels. I am your host, Arvin Ellerun. This is the show that we do here every Tuesday between 4 and 7 p.m. Eastern, focusing on story and narrative in games, and we are ready for this. So I am excited for more of Roadwarden today as we get back into the post-apocalyptic landscape of someone and eating tree roots and all that stuff, if you were here the last time. So I'm looking forward to that. Should be a good time. Before we go any further, just a couple of reminders about ways to support us here. If you haven't done so already, please follow us here on GogCom's channel. That is always appreciated. If you haven't already done so, please consider as well checking out please consider subscribing to us here on GogCom's Twitch channel, because that supports all of the streamers. And if you have not done so already, please as well consider clicking through and checking out our individual channels, because we have all our individual channels and Patreons and subsystems and things like that as well. With just a couple of bits, and in fact, I'm going to, I think, pop myself on here. There we are. Hi, everyone. Good to see you all. I hope everyone is doing well. And welcome to episode 354. Now, a couple of quick notes about scheduling. We are going to be on doing Roadwarden today, and I will be on with you folks now until right before 7 p.m. Eastern. I am going to be stopping a little early. I want to stop at... Whoa. I want to not have my mic fall out. I want to stop at 6:50 p.m. Eastern, 10 minutes above, for two reasons. Number one, I have to go pick up my daughter from an event that she's doing, and then I have to take her back and be ready on my own channel, because at 8 p.m. Eastern, I have my special yearly production of Our Vocalist, my voice team, doing A Christmas Carol, the greatest story ever told. It's my favorite short story. It's a wonderful story. It feels like only feels like Christmas when we actually get Christmas Carol with the voice actors. That's going to be a good time. But I'm also doing it because starting right at 7 p.m. Eastern, and you won't want to miss this, our good dear friend Kilgore Trout is going to be on the channel with the next-gen Witcher 3 release. So if you have been excited to check it out and you're like, I want to see what this Witcher 3 next-gen looks like and all that kind of stuff, not that, who plays The Witcher? Who among us has played Witcher 3 a lot and really likes that game? Obviously, The Witcher 3 is amazing, and so the next-gen update's going to be cool. I wish that I could actually stick around and check it out myself, but as I said, I got to go pick up my daughter and then go set up for my own stream on my channel about an hour later. But that's going to be happening at 7 p.m. Eastern, so you will definitely want to check that out. It is going to be worth it. It's a great game, Dartsusu. It's a great game. I know that it's super hyped and all that stuff, but it's a game that deserves the hype that it's gotten. It's that good. And so, yeah, I am going to be very interested to check out the VOD of that later on and see other people playing it. But so Kilgore Trout is doing the release of that this evening right after I'm done. So we're going to run from now until about 6:50 p.m. Eastern. Then I'm going to stop right around that time. I don't want to go later than like 6:51. So if there looks like we're heading towards an area of the game where it's just like, oh, we're going to explore 65 things, I would rather err on the side on stopping a little early rather than going a little late. Usually I don't have someone after me and I can go later, but today is a big exception to that because of the things that we're doing. So that's the plan. Very excited about it. And yeah, we are playing Roadwarden today. And for those of you who have not been here for this is a post-apocalyptic game where we play a Roadwarden whose job it is to basically patrol the roads, make sure they're safe in this kind of post-apocalyptic environment, solve problems for people that run into them, and also open up trade routes and things like that. And we had a very eventful last couple of sessions. It's going to actually take me a minute to figure out or remember what the heck we were doing, because the last few sessions of Pen and Pixels have all been tabletop stuff, which is great, obviously. But we played the last two. I think we played Talisman Adventures, and then the week before that was Saltmarsh. So I think it's been a month just about since we last played Roadwarden. So I am excited to play it with all of you, but it'll take us a minute to figure out what it is. I have, in fact, set up ArvBot, which is ArvBot Plus, which is the power of Effect Life, brings that to us. I have set it up to connect to GogCom's channel. So if all goes well, I should be able to launch this. Let's make sure. I should be able to launch this poll connecting to maybe That's not... That does not seem to be... Oh. No. That's odd. Connection to Twitch failed. I don't know why connection to Twitch failed. I did set this up beforehand, or at least I thought I did. Okay, I'll retry it. Let's see. Let's try that again. Okay, doing that. Ah, there we go. Haha. Success. I was going to say, I was like, I know that I did this. So, okay, there we go. Lovely, lovely. All right, let us head over and let's see. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Sorry. That's the one we're looking for. And let's fire up what we've got. So there's RBot Plus with the polls. And let's fire up Roadwarden. And we shall see what we have. Okay, it is opening up. It is loading. This just updated this morning as well. So... Here we are. All right, now give me a second whilst I... adjust the window sizing. There we go. Cool. All right. Good. Excellent. That is all working. So now, let's see. The reason that the chat looks weird is because we have to do that to set up for this. Let's continue. Okay. Now, as I recall, let's take a look at the map for a second. And let me get rid of the polls here for just a moment. Okay, so as I recall, we started all the way down here, Tullius Camp. We went to the southern crossroads, we went to the Pelt of the North, we went to the ruins, we went to the Elder's Cave, and he sent us up to find some other stuff. This tree is where we had all the stuff about eating the roots and all that weird stuff, and like sacrificing blood and all this kind of weird things, business. And then we went up to Howler's Dell. Now, as I recall, according to our journal, what we've got right now is this. So the tree reacts when I feed it with human blood. That's one of our quests. We have exploring the peninsula. We have to leave the peninsula on the 40th day of the journey. I think it's like day 3 or something like that. To add work to my work here, I could secure the roads by getting rid of any major threats, convince the tribes to negotiate with the officials. Hey, what's up, Mar? Soldiers told me about a large village that repeatedly uses necromancy, even though it's forbidden by law, and can be extremely dangerous. I should take a look and judge for myself. Village is somewhere among the bogs by the northwestern road. We have to check more of that, and we will. Many creatures have recently left the northern forest, which results in more tension among the predators. Abandoned village in the south may be a useful spot for future settlers. I should figure out why it was ruined. And the villagers for Howler's Dell are willing to sell linen and sturdy clothing in exchange for a squad of soldiers as well as some iron. They're already well off, and as long as they won't be forced to follow the United Church, they're open for trading negotiations. So we're in Howler's Dell right now. We want to help others. We also want to find the previous Roadwarden, whose name was Asterion. In Pelt, the innkeeper gave him 50 dragons, which is their coins, for some sort of investment. And Asterion was last seen in White Marshes, a village in the northwest, and according to the druid from the cave that we found, again, Asterion was seen in one of the villages in the north. Eastern Path have some issues with maintaining their roads. We'll worry about that later. Empress Carp, the druid, asked me to travel to Gale Rocks, look for a fisher named Photios, a young father, to collect his debt and bring it in one piece back to the cave, and then we get one-time access to the druid's healing. So we'll keep that in mind. We have the scavenger. He needs another day to gather his things. So when we travel tomorrow, when he has to return tomorrow at least 3 hours before the dusk, we can go back there, and then he can go up to Howler's Dell, because we know the road from the ruined village to Howler's Dell. So that's all good. So we're going to have to go back to the scavenger in the ruined village 3 hours, roughly speaking, or more than 3 hours before the dusk. So we have to come back tomorrow. According to the innkeep of Peltz, Glossie and her band broke the truce to the local village, and he'll pay me 2 dragons if I get in touch with Thace, the mayor of Howler's Dell, and bring him her response. That's who we're speaking to right now. Ruined Village, we already did that. We just talked about that Ruined Village. And the Swamp Altar, I just mentioned that kind of stuff. So right now, we're talking to Thace. And what I've been doing is trying to gather information from people. But I also, of course, have this poll, because we are the ones making decisions about how we answer questions. So I will put some of those votes in there, but I do want everybody to know that although I will continue to do that, there will be times when, if it's just obvious choices, or if it's just something where it's like you're having a conversation and you need to gather information, I won't keep asking chat that. To sort of speed things up, I'm going to continue to upgrade as we do. No, I did not update my camera, but I do have light on. This is the same camera that I've had more, but I've got the full light panel on because it is already, the sun actually is officially set, I think as of 4:24. Yeah, 4:24 p.m. So only 8 days until the shortest day of the year. So, okay, so let's do it. Okay. Right. She sits down, wipes her hand into a clean cloth, adjusts the folds of her cape, and once again crosses her legs. So tell me, Mr. Tibbs, how's Hovlevin? I haven't gathered much news since the invasion. Okay, we have 3 choices. Things stay humble but are starting to look brighter. The harbor is full of life and the kids grow strong. We're from Hovlevin, by the way. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. Not everyone has their own bed, but the new generation is ready to start their own fight. Or it's far from great. Children who lost their parents during the war have no trade in hand, and there's not enough settlements to send them away. Many people are unable to prosper. So, what should we say? Should we say things stay humble? Should we say sometimes better, sometimes worse? Because this is literally affecting what Hovlevin is like. Far from great. Okay, chat, so now's your first vote. $ vote space 1 if you want to say things stay humble, etc., etc. $ vote space 2 if you want this one, not everyone has their own bed, but the new generation's ready to start. Or $ vote space 3 if you want to say it's far from great, children who lost their parents have no trade, not enough settlements, many people are unable to prosper. It's up to you, chat. What kind of place is Hovlevin? Things are getting brighter, sometimes better, sometimes worse, or it's far from great. While you all do that, I'm going to open something which was sent to me by Dragon Spear. This is the original. It's quite literally a chocolate orange. And as you can see, orange flavored chocolate. It is good chocolate. So I don't know how many people are familiar with Terry's, but Thanks are due, as always, to Dragon Spear for his generosity. Okay, so we're going to last call this. Talk about things stay humble. Going once. Going twice. All right. There we go. Things stay humble. I was hoping to hear that. Her smile shines with kindness. I thought they were done for. Losing all those ships and getting cut off from so many tribes, I'm surprised the soldiers didn't butcher all the priests and traders to fill their stomachs. It felt so unavoidable that I even came back home afraid for my life. But I still carry memories of that place, most of them warm. I'm glad the others haven't given up. I'm going to close that off for a moment. Her smile fades away and she speaks without looking in your direction, giving you a moment of rest. The first time I crossed the city walls and saw the streets, my soul saw them as if they were made of dragon bones, not stone. All those people and the noise and high houses and this life happening all around me. But after only 2 years, everything collapsed for the first time in human memory like a burning dollhouse. She pauses, rests her hands on her stomach, and turns back to you. But don't let me drag you away from your duties. How can I help you, Mr. Dibbs? Okay, so I've got a lot of information, so I'm going to go through this. This is an example. I'm not going to ask chat for this because we want to talk about all of it, so we're going to go through all of these things. I know, right? Darth, seriously. Okay, Pelt to the north. The innkeeper feels uneasy about Glossia's band. When you mention the raids on the northern villages, her eyes narrow. Are you sure? It's the first I've heard about it. Glossia's been around since years back, but she's not much of a nuisance. I'm just a messenger. He's asking for you to join forces with him. Well, I can't give you my answer. I won't ask our hunters to endanger their lives in the pursuit of some gossip. Could ask around, learn more about this. What a splendid idea. There are only 3 villages in the north. White Marshes, farther north by the western road, Gale Rocks by the northern coast, and creeks in the far east. Bring me news from those places and you'll get my answer. So, I could do this thing about being paid for passing the message. Well, actually, this is one that I guess I can ask chat. So, one of these answers here is I'm paid for passing the message from here to Pelt of the North. Asking me to ride for you through half of the peninsula and back is a different deal entirely. So one of these is basically kind of the pay me more type of thing. And the other option is to say, you know, is to be nice about it. Now, one warning, chat. We have 2 out of 4 vitality. That's okay. Good. We're in good shape on nourishment. Our armor is pretty good. We have that knowledge, but we only have 1 out of 5 appearance. So we are not in great shape in terms of that. So keep in mind, we don't necessarily want to tick people off. Oh, we're still on day 1? Oh, we're doing much better than I thought then. Okay, day 1. So tomorrow we need to come back to the scavenger before dusk. So we're in good shape here. So, chat, I'm going to open it up. $vote space 1 says, asking me for ride is a different deal. And the second one is just like, I can do that. So if you want to say I can do that, $vote space 2. If you want to say, hey, I need to get paid more, $vote space 1. Oh, really? I actually don't... This one is pretty good only because I like the chocolate. Normally, I don't like fruit-flavored chocolates. Like, I just like chocolate. But in this particular case, it's not bad because it's really good chocolate. I do like chocolate, for sure. All right, we have 2 votes for I can do that. Check Twitter because I realized I didn't retweet this stream. a second here. Right. Oh, we did not get a tweet out today. Okay. Well, I tweeted out myself, so that's all right. Okay. All right. So last call, folks. We only have a couple of votes here. We can get more people in than that. What do you think? Do we say I can do that, or do we say, hey, it's a different deal entirely, and what the hell's your problem? We say with our dirty face and half health. Going once. Going twice. All right. We're going to say I can do that. I wonder, back in Hovleven, did you spend any time in Backwood Corner? It used to be this dark, dirty alley with muggers working even in daylight. I stayed there with Octavia, the miller, in exchange for doing chores for her. She had this small wooden hut. So see, I love things like this where the questions being asked, literally as you answer them, you're shaping the world as you do it. So in this particular case, our answer will affect this. So back in Hovleven, did we, chat, spend any time in Backwood Corner? Did we? Since the war, even the soldiers have avoided that street. People say it's a home for thugs. That's option 1. You wouldn't recognize it. It's now a respectable street with one of the fanciest inns in the city, the Apple and the Boar. It would make you feel like you're in the old days. The Boarhead Inn is almost 50 years old now. Or there's no such street anymore. What is it, chat? What do you think? Should we say since the war, even the soldiers have avoided that street, it's a home for thugs? You wouldn't recognize it. It's now a respectable street with one of the fanciest inns in the city, the Apple and the Boar. It would make you feel like you're in the old days. Boarhead Inn is almost 50 years old now. Or there's no such street anymore. It fell to a great fire. Which of those choices, chat? And again, we're shaping this, so it's what we decide. If we say that, people avoid that street, that's what it's going to be. If we say it's a respectable street, the Apple and the Boar is there now, then that's the case. If we say to make you feel like you're in the old days, that would be fine. If you say there is no such street anymore, that would be the case as well. Close, Miranda. $vote space 2. So I like this. Again, one of the reasons I like it is sort of vaguely concealed world building. You're working with the person playing the game, in our case, chat, to decide what the world is like based on our answers to questions. And there have been numerous games, of course, that do things of this type, but I like seeing it in a game like this. So that was harder than it needed to be. All right, so we have a tie vote between 3. What other votes are there, chat? Do you want to say even the soldiers avoid that street, it's a home for thugs? You wouldn't recognize it, now a respectable street. It would make you feel like you're in the old days, the Boarhead Inn, blah, blah, blah. Or there's no such street anymore, it fell to a great fire. So please get your vote in, chat. We need other votes here, chat. We can do it. Strike a pose. There's nothing to it. All right, 2 votes for that. it would make you feel like. Okay. All right. Last call. Last call. Last call right here. And... okay. The winner is It Would Make You Feel Like You're in the Old Days. The Boarhead Inn is almost 50 years old now. You explain that while the place is still called the bad part of the city, the Boarhead makes good coin selling beer and ale to students, mercenaries, and adventurers. The whole land may turn wild one day, you quote one of the local traders, but Backwood Corner will stay the same. She sighs with relief and puts her left hand on her hip. Comforting, don't you think? That there are these places, these dark corners where you can always find what you expect. Living there, though, that sounds awful and always was, she chuckles. I bet the thugs of my youth are no longer around, so I wouldn't count on them giving me a free pass. But I wish I could have a chance to drink a mug or two with the innkeeper once more. The old lady was always too good to stay in that muck. Alright, so let's get more information, chat. Have you heard of the necromancers in the north? She taps her fingers on the table. Yes, I have. After you ask her to tell you more, she seems to regain her confidence. You mean White Marshes for sure. I don't know all that much about what's happening there. We avoid their lands if we can. She frowns. I shouldn't gossip about it with strangers. We can talk about it on another occasion. Alright, I was in the ruined village south from here. Her tense gaze shifts into an awkward click of her tongue as she leans away from you. I don't even want to think about their tragic fate. No one can negotiate with the wrath of the herds. A long pause. And I better not find you upsetting my neighbors with these sad questions. It was a challenging time for all of us, a wound we won't forget. What do you think about the scavenger who's here before? Ah, he's still alive, she says with distaste. He brought us some news from the north and paid off his debt to us, but he's an idler and a prattler. Drinks, too. The farther away he stays from here, the better. She doesn't like that. What about this weird tree? She straightens up and raises her chin. You mean Beholder, the guardian spirit of our wetlands. Every fall we bring it our gifts, and in return it provides us with its blessed fruit, the flesh of the forest. She stares into your eyes. It's older than the oldest books and the oldest thoughts. The druids help us honor its sleep and show us how to ask for its help. Neither of these rituals, she scoffs, would be of use for you. Okay. What about Asterion? She stares you in the eyes, then turns towards Swift. Is your palfrey a mare? We have 2 jacks, could use some mules. A stallion, so won't give you anything stronger than a hinny. So I've heard. Her eyes wander over the square. At the small donkey bellies bring weak offspring to horses. Her pale fingers reach for her own stomach. Oh, interesting. When her eyes return to you, they regain their sharpness. So, she had a thing going on with Asterion. Okay. I'd rather avoid long talks about that man, lest him remain as a part of the past spring. Since you're asking about him, I can only assume he was indeed sharing his goal with you. I won't deny that. Yet you're already different from him. I like it when travelers don't try to sell me bluegrass. Seeing your frown, she waves it off. It's just a saying. His words were stronger than his deeds, and he's no longer welcome here. What are his wrongdoings? If you have to know, he failed, and you won't get a second chance. He was meant to escort Agidia, a daughter of mine, to her betrothed in Gale Rocks. She was a great archeress, and the road from here to the coast is not that dangerous. When they saw goblins on the road, Asterion ordered her to push through, right into their trap. She touches her deer-shaped buckle. They got jumped like a bunch of wealthy pilgrims. A Roadwarden worth their gruel should know better. He can fight with a blade, but my girl, she never had a chance. She sighs and looks at the gate. He disappeared soon after his pitiful attempt at apologizing to me, and we closed our doors behind him, for good. I'll let you know if he ever tries to return. Any ideas where I can look for him? She adjusts her cape with an annoyed shrug. Try asking for him in the north. He spent most of his time between White Marshes, Gale Rocks, and creeks. Here he wasn't that eager to share his plans. Did you ever find your daughter? For a few breaths, her green eyes seek something in your face. Her words are careful yet hesitant. She's with the Fogs now. The goblins were after food, so they carried her shell away. One day she's going to charge at our walls, awoken and empty. Even though she was a bit mawkish, her heart was strong and patient. She listened to people, was ready to help them and to cry with them. I could tell you stories, but what for? Let the dead rest. Wow. Quite a big family. She titters weakly. At one point, there were 12 kids living in her house, 9 girls, 3 boys. They come and go as it should be. A few were already with the forest, but most are all grown now, even started their own families. She looks away at a girl wiping spilled milk with a wet cloth. Thank you, Just Depressed. Welcome to the DRM Free community. To be perfectly clear, they aren't exactly our children. It's a custom of our village for the mayor to look after the orphans. Thankfully, Eric's has a big heart and much more patience than I do. As she speaks, her smile widens. Why did you let him leave? He didn't do anything, well, forbidden by our laws. He was simply stupid and cannot be trusted. But this isn't Hovleven. We have no rich folk to dread. We treat each other fairly. Lost in her thoughts, she rubs the neckline of her dress. One good thing I can say about him is that he didn't try to justify his decisions or to avoid the consequences. But I'd rather have him prove first he can do what's asked of him. All right, thanks for the help. Tell me, how do people dress in the city these days? Is it similar to what we have here? Before the war, the merchants were wearing these really long dresses and robes, way too long for my taste. They got mud stains after every rain, and I see no reason to see shoes completely hidden. All right, so here's another one of those world-building questions, chat. So the question is, what should we say? Should we say, not anymore? There's always a shortage of fabric. Most people wear tunics like in the old days. Should we say, for years, there was not enough hemp and wool at hand, so people have started to wear furs again? Should we say, as far as I can tell, many folks wear headgear? Or should we say, I'm not sure? So let me open that up. What do you think, chat? Should we say, because she's asking again about how people dress in Hovleven. So again, we're building the city with our answer. So, not anymore. There's always a shortage of fabric. Most people wear tunics like in the old days. For years, there was not enough hemp and wool at hand, so people have started to wear furs again. Or, as far as I can tell, many people wear headgear, or I don't pay much attention to fashion. What should it be, chat? Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree, Effect Life. That is interesting. I feel like that last one is basically, why are you bothering me? I'm a Roadwarden, lady. You know, which I don't know. And you can see it's getting late. So once we're done with this conversation with her, then we will, then at that point we can ask her about basically finding a place to sleep in the village, sleep here, and then set off in the morning to wherever we're going to go. We might want to go back to the scavenger early so we can get that out of the way. I don't know. We'll talk about it. What say you, chat? Do we say there's always a shortage of fabric, so they wear tunics? Do we say there wasn't enough hemp and wool, so they started to wear furs again? Do we say, as far as I can tell, many folks wear headgear? Or I don't pay much attention to fashion? Now's your chance. $ vote space 1 for not anymore. $ vote space 2 for years. $ vote space 3 for as far as I can tell. Or $ vote space 4 for I'm not sure. Responding to text from family, 1 second. Bear with me, bear with me. Okay, good. Right. Good. Lovely. Okay. Going once here. I think I may have last... No, I did not last call it. Going once. Going twice. Okay. Not anymore. There's always a shortage of fabric. Most people wear tunics like in the old days. At least we can hope that if the visitors arrive, we won't stand out much. She laughs, but also adjusts her dress, drawing your attention to its superb quality. And who knows, maybe our little village here is going to help those unfortunate clothiers. I'm sure we could spare a couple of sheets of fabric. You seem to be fairly well off, even more so than the other people in the village. What's your secret? She reaches for her buckle and her voice grows cold. There's no secret, traveler. There's hard work, risks, and sacrifices in the support of those that care about me. The good things that happen to me shine on my people just as much. Think about it before you mention it again. She adjusts her cape. Ouch. Okay. Tell me about Howler's Dell. Is it just what it seems like, the greatest village in the far north? She raises her hand and makes an inviting gesture. Though I hope to still improve this and that, she winks at you, but is suddenly interrupted by the pained cry of a little boy who hurt his knee during a fall. As an amused elder tries to calm him down, the mayor shrugs it off and titters and meets your eyes again. Life's good here. We have what we need and a lot of what we want, building on top of more than 12 generations of hard work and bravery. She spends a good few minutes telling you about mouflons, wheat, rye, hemp, cheese, and wool, proud of every glimpse of prosperity. Whenever she mentions an artisan, shepherd, or farmer, she doesn't miss a chance to mention how significantly she improved their conditions. She also omits some topics. You hear of no tales, songs, ancestors, rituals, or days of prayer. It's like listening to a tax collector. Only at the very end of her speech does she mention the wisdom of the elders now kept in the teachings of the druids who help her guide those who trust her. They heal our wounds in our gardens, she explains, but then changes the topic to all the fruit trees, hairs, and nuts in the wood. It's starting to feel a little sketchy to me, this place. Nod politely. We talk and talk, but I still don't know where you're from, Mr. Tibbs. What's your story? Have you lived in Hovleven your entire life? Ah, so once again, we have 3 possible choices here, chat. And our choices are as follows. We can say either, in a way, I know it as well as any other city folk, but every spring I train in horsemanship at a nearby village. Or I could say, only for a bit. I was raised in a small village just nearby and moved to the city after I decided to look for luck as a Roadwarden. Or, my past is already buried, let's not dig into it. So what do you think, chat? Oh, thanks, Kilgore. Thank you. Yeah, I saw there wasn't one, and I wasn't sure, so, you know. I know that you're coming up at 7. I'm stopping, by the way, Kilgore, at 6:50 because A, I know that you have the big thing to prepare for, but B, I also need to go pick up my daughter. I have the Christmas Carol, our vocalist thing on my channel tonight at 8 p.m., so I got to go ready for that too. And I'm looking forward to looking at the VOD of you doing your next gen of Witcher 3 playthrough sessions. That should be fun. Yeah, see, the tweet went out. All of a sudden, we got a bunch more people in here. So here are our choices, chat. So yes, and I will be with you for another, basically 2 hours, actually, directly. For 6:50 is when I'm stopping. So we are talking here about our response to this person. In a way, I know it as well as any other city folk. Only for a bit. I was raised in a small village nearby, moved to the city when I decided to look for luck as a Roadwarden, or my past is already buried, let's not dig into it. Those are your choices. So $vote space 1 for in a way, $vote space 2 for only for a bit, and $vote space 3 for my past is already buried, let's not dig into it. Yeah, thank you, Kilgore. I'm going to go retweet that, actually. Okay. All right, I'm going to last call this. Get your votes in, chat. Your votes do matter. Your votes count. Get your votes in now. And this is the last conversation of today, not the session, but in the game today, because after that, we're going to be sleeping. All right, going once, going twice. Okay, only for a bit. I was raised in a small village just nearby and moved to the city after I had decided to look for luck as a road warden. To see the city for the first time after being surrounded by a couple of small houses and fields. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? She puts her hand on the table. Even after my second winter there, I felt like a stranger. But those who know how to live in the countryside close to the wilderness will always find a new home for ourselves, don't you think? She gives you an encouraging smile. What would it take to make you consider joining Hovleman? I can consider it right now. While she laughs, her eyes remain keen. But if you want me to give you some answers, let's see. She looks up into the right, theatrically raising her hand to her chin. Some gestures of goodwill would be a great start. Since you're the guild's messenger, I need to know you can be relied on. She gives you a wide, white grin. That's only the first step, I assume? Of course. Do you even have the power to handle tax negotiations? She scoffs loudly at your head shake. Do enough for my village and I'll hand you a beautiful signed letter. A list of all the things my neighbors are looking for as well as what they can give in return. Your superiors are going to see more than enough to prepare their offer. She rubs her hands. I think that's fair. Okay, so we've got two choices here, chat. This is a pretty simple one. Either, yeah, looks like we're in agreement, or do enough for my village is a bit vague. So $ vote space 1 will be, yeah, looks like we're in agreement. $ vote space 2 is do enough for my village is a bit vague. Simple two choice option. So get your vote in now, chat, please. $ vote space 1 to be in agreement. $ vote space 2 to do enough for my village. Hi, friendly kitten. All right, looks like we're in agreement versus do enough for my village. I'm going to last call this, but definitely get your votes in, folks. Now is your chance to shape how this will progress. Okay. Yes, Senpai noticed you. What's up, kitten? All right, so there we go. We're going to... Looks like we are in agreement. Perfect. One more thing, though. She puts her elbows on the table, leaning closer to you. If you go behind my back, I'm not going to wait for a dagger. I'll end you first. Wow. This lady is a little weird. I don't know. She rests her chin against her open palms, giving you a disarmingly warm smile. I'm sure people already know that we have a new Roadwarden. Maybe ask around to see if anyone needs your help. The more my neighbors trust you and need you, the more willing they'll be to offer you better pay. Well, let's start here. What can I do for you? Ah, so kind of you to ask. But before I ask you to run, let's see how you can walk, shall we? Her eyes wander left and right, and she gestures for a nearby guard to move away. He nods, then gestures at a few other souls to follow him. While a few of the locals cast curious looks at you, they turn away as quickly as you notice them. The mayor's shiny green eyes are still locked on you, and her voice is close to a whisper. Since Asterian's disappearance, there's little trade on the roads and not much news reaches us. Be so kind. Her flirtatious tone distracts you with how obviously fake it is, and help me learn some interesting tales about our neighbors. Okay, so we either say, I smile back at her, you mean ones that weren't meant to reach you, or I'm not a spy. So let's open that one up, chat. $ vote space 1, you mean ones that weren't meant to reach you. $ vote space 2 means I'm not a spy. I'm a road spy, a spy warden. 007 Warden Road Spy. My name's James Roadwarden. Road Bondin'. So, ones that weren't meant to reach you is $ vote space 1. I'm not a spy is $ vote space 2. Please get your vote in now, chat. Yes. Seems like a very different meaning than one might have expected, Miranda, I would say. So yes, get your vote in now, chat. $ vote 1. Basically, $ vote 1 is telling her, yeah, we'll get you those tales from our neighbors. And $ vote 2 is basically telling her to pound sand. With whatever requisite effects that would actually have. So now's your chance to get in your vote. $ vote space 1 for tales that weren't meant to reach you. $ vote space 2 for I'm not a spy. Ones that weren't meant to reach you, okay? All right, last call on this, last call. For whether we say we're meant to reach you or I'm not a spy. Vote 1, $ vote 2. Going once. Going twice. Okay. I smile back at her. You means ones that weren't meant to reach you. See, I knew that deep down you're a true sage. She titters and straightens up, adjusting her cape without haste. Do you have something to share? Okay, so this one is, again, I'm not going to ask chat about this because this is just gathering information. So the soldiers who came here in spring were meant to find a good spot for a new outpost. She smiles widely. You don't say. Knowing that, I'll prepare a few very tempting suggestions for the officials. After she seals her lips, she still lets out a quiet chuckle. The squad that made camp at the southern crossroads is now nothing more than 2 people. They plan to return to Hovleven before fall. Since they cleared that camp of brigands, they went so quiet I almost forgot about them. She runs her chin with her thumb. I'm surprised they managed to stay alive till this day. Sending such an inexperienced group here shows that the officials misjudged this land. That's all I have to say. I keep thinking, surely city folk don't eat just wild game, salt fish, and groats. What animals do people breed in the nearby villages? So here's another one, chat, where we're world building here, basically through our answer. So mostly ibexes. They do well on the hills. There's a lot of mouflons. The monks need their parchment. It depends. Mostly pond fish and fowl, but some can afford to buy boars. There's barely any meat. Or whatever people can buy, I guess. I don't eat animals when I can avoid it. So, what animals do people breed? Mostly ibexes, they do well in the hills. There's a lot of mouflons, the monks need their parchment. It depends, mostly pond fish and fowl, but some can afford to buy boars. There's barely any meat, so people have started to raise crickets and rats. Whatever people can buy, I guess. I don't eat animals when I can afford it. Alright, world building time, chat. What do you think? What should we answer for this? What is our world building response? I'm a rebel. I say it depends, and that's it. And yes, welcome everybody for those who have just arrived. Welcome to episode 354 of Pen and Pixels, which focuses on story and narrative in games. We are playing Roadwarden, and chat... Oh wait, I didn't put the poll up, sorry. Chat is working together to decide how our Roadwarden is going to function. So we're talking currently to the mayor of Howler's Dell. We're almost done talking to her. Then we need to get some sleep. Then we need to go around the village, talk to some people about what they need, and then head on from here. So that is our plan, and you can get involved with this by voting using our chat system. If you do $vote space, you can vote for what there is. Right now, this person is asking us about the nature of our city. So we have 2 votes for our city has mostly ibexes. They do well in the hills. We have no votes for there's a lot of mouflons. We have 1 vote for it depends, mostly pond, fish, and fowl. We have no votes for there's barely any meat, and no vote for whatever people can buy, I guess. So those are your choices. $vote space for the option that you want. And I'm going to last call this. We'll know that we're ready to go. Okay, going once, going twice, and all right, sold to mostly ibexes. They do well in the hills. So just like in the old days, I even saw some of them in the city. They're annoyingly good at climbing onto roofs and walls. But more importantly, she adjusts her dress and smiles, it means that our mouflon cheese and wool are going to be quite a commodity. Do you need my assistance? First, I need to be sure you can handle yourself. Bring me some juicy rumors, won't you? And maybe talk with my neighbors. We could use a few coins or someone with a steady hand. Okay, she wants me to learn more about the raids in the north, doesn't trust me enough to give me a job, no news to share. Thank you for your time. Okay, so we're going to have to talk to all of these people, so let's speak to Eric's, the innkeeper, next. Even though the counter stands outdoors, it's not rotten or dirty, and you guess that like the other furniture, it's brought inside every night. Eric's approaches you with a smile and leans on its surface with his fists. He's portly and even taller than his neighbors. He's got freckles, short gray hair, and an elegant beard. His long woolen orange tunic has a decorative cut right under the neck and loose braids at the edges. How can I help you, traveler? His accent is heavy, nothing like his wife's. He stomps with a heavy boot and looks around as if just waiting to get back to his other tasks. His fingers are still dirty from weeding the garden. Okay, let's ask him about rumors. Rumors? Nay, really. I have my own things to worry about. Neighbors keep their own company. Better for everyone to seek help from my wife or the forest speakers, nay and a mug of ale. So no rumors, but maybe you've heard about someone who may need my help? You say it, but expect travelers to get here any day now. I'll ask around. Come tomorrow. Any interesting guests recently? I do not know. He scratches his beard. There is one vagabond, but he was nae here for long, and didn't do much. A timid fellow. Talks loudly, but is afraid of everything, especially the guards. His face is touched by flames. As a big ballista, he says this word, a ballista, he says this word with a strange accent, smirking, and a large bird is his beast of burden. I do not know what to say. He shrugs. He went south and is most likely gone. Okay, so he's going to want to know about work later on. We have, I think, let's take a look at how many food rations we have right now. We've got 2 food rations. We've got a fresh healing potion. And I don't know that we have any, we have a lot of like gold for this, so we are going to come back and ask about the room, but first we want to go talk to the trader because we're trying to help him out. The man behind the counter is inspecting a sack of white flour, mumbling to himself and occasionally cursing. The other locals walk away, giving you space to talk trade in peace. Weevils! He points at a little dark blue insect that's trying to flee. Shit me fire, 'twas ground a few days ago. Nae pies for us tomorrow, looks like. He puts the sack on the ground. I'll take care of it later. A Roadwarden, eh? Ava the mayor cared enough to see you, and kids are lining up to look at your horse. Strangers are like ghosts to them now. He's wearing a simple brown robe with no hood, a rope instead of a belt, and modest trim made of green thread. It barely reaches below his knees, revealing his sandals and crude pants made of linen. At the same time, it's way too large for him and hangs from him like a bag. Looks like a poor vendor from Hovleman. He stands sideways to you with legs crossed, leaning on the counter with one hand and keeping the other on his hip. He's around 40, short and a bit greasy, with a humble beard and hair. His fingers are unusually long. Okay, now this chat are typically we get these choices, and it kind of is the tone with which we answer the question. So we could be friendly, be supportive and cordial. You're a trader, I assume. I guess we'll see each other often. We could be playful. Are you a barrel collector or do you sell them? We could be distanced. I'm looking for a trader. We could be intimidating. I'm here to trade, not talk. Or vulnerable. I may not be wealthy, but I need a few things. So with all that in mind, chat, let me load that question. Oops, hold on a second. Okay, let's see. Okay, so chat, how do you want to answer it? Do you want to answer friendly? You're a trader, I assume. I guess we'll see each other often. That's $vote_1. Do you want to answer playful? Are you a barrel collector or do you sell them? Do we want to answer distanced? I'm looking for trader. Do you want to answer intimidating? I'm here to trade, not talk. Or I may not be wealthy, but I need a few things. How would you like to answer this question? How do we phrase it, chat? $vote_1 for friendly, 2 for playful, 3 for distanced, 4 for intimidating, 5 for vulnerable. Chat seems fairly in favor of friendly so far. Seems fairly definitive. Let's last call this. Now's a chance to get your vote in. $vote_1, $vote_2, 3, 4, or 5. Going once. Going twice. Okay, friendly it is. For you, a trader. For my neighbors, the treasurer. Name's Akakios. Everyone brings here what they have in abundance, and I can either sell it to travelers or divide it among the workers, builders, artisans. These things here are mine. He runs his eyes over the crates and barrels. But I can show you our wares if you want. But do not ask me for better prices just because you're a traveler. I need to explain myself for every deal I make, or Thace will laugh at me all the way to the pyre. Can you tell me about Asterion? At Ava, though he was here more than once, he didn't leave much behind. Smelly hoarder. He looks around and spits on the ground. At least he bought a blade from me. Remember what blade it was? Sure, 'twas a special one. A sickle sword with a tip wider than 'twas at the grip. Long as from fingertips to shoulder, nae a sword, nae a knife. Single-edged, brought his own steel to melt for it. What's it good for, fencing? More for cutting bushes, creepers, roots. It will nae fell a tree, but 'tis a fine tool. He nods to a passerby, but his smile disappears as quickly as it had shown up. Pathfinders use it. My pa used to have one as well. He chopped nuts with it, nuts and mouflons. So he took it to the wilderness. He shrugs. Pretty much anywhere. There are hills from here to the coast and bogs in the north in the heart of the woods. Can I help you with it? Need any help? I could use a job. Know what? There's something urgent. I need a medicament for my daughter. Nay that she's hurt or anything. He raises his open palms as if to show that he's not holding a knife. She's a teen, wants to start hunting in the woods. I can nae teach her much, but I'd sleep better with her having a healing potion. You have, he hesitates, almost 9 days. Bring me the potion before the last dusk and I'll pay you 5 dragon's rings. Let's see. Where can I find such a potion? I can think of 2 places. The safer bet's beyond old Pagos on the mountain of the crazy monks. Crazy and boring, more boring than a mouflon, but they often brew with Numa. You can also head south east of the crossroads behind Pell to the north. I'd never been there myself, but you'll find a dolmen there as old in a city. And this, he reaches for his clinking pouch and pulls out a massive iron key, is meant to open some secret passage there. She didn't want to take the stall after you? Nay, but that's fine. She hates me. It is better for her to take after her mother. Your daughter hates you? His low voice sounds like grunting. Since you have to know, our laws make me admit I was a wife-beater. Oh, wow. So I turn away. I'm like, okay, that's great. Even by my own deeds, I've lost my family. My daughter has a new father now, and I'm nae allowed to marry again. As he starts to speak faster, he also wags his finger at you. But I'd never touch my girl. Keeping her safe's the right thing to do, even if it doesn't make things right. How do you know about that secret? From a merchant. She's from south of Hag Hills. I was meant to pass the key to her friends, but he never showed up. And you've just been keeping this key at your side ever since? I kept it with my trinkets and coins, that's all. We were planning to go there for years, but 'tis one of those things you talk about and they do it. His brief laughter turns into a cough. All right, now we have a choice to make, chat, which is, do we say a strong elixir would be worth more than 5 coins? Or do we say, fine, I'll look into it? Yeah, I guess, Patry. I mean, at least he admits that. Reminds me a little bit of the Bloody Baron side quest in The Witcher. So, $vote space 1 if you want to say a strong elixir would be worth more than 5 coins. $vote space 2 if you want to say, fine, I'll look for it. And remember, we're trying to do jobs for the villagers to get their trust so that she, the mayor of Hallersdale, will get their trust so that she can hook up with Hovlevin and join with them. That's the plan. Good stuff with these votes. Good stuff, good stuff. I'm going to last call here. A bit out of pocket. Hey, what's up, Fane? Yeah. All right, going once, going twice. Fine, I'll look for it. Good, he smiles. Anything else? About the potion? Oh, okay. So chat, I do have this healing potion, so I forgot that we had one of those. Do we use this? I mean, that would actually save us some time. It means that we would lose a healing potion, but we're at half health right now. We would lose the healing potion, but we would have taken care of this task. So do we tell them that we have the healing potion or not? If we tell him we have the healing potion, he may say, okay, that's good, in which case we give it to him and we've fulfilled a task for him and we'll get some money. So $vote space 1 if we give him the healing potion that we have. $vote space 2 if we say soon, which basically means we're going to have to go find it somewhere else. But I forgot that we already had a healing potion. Like, right there. On the time of day, 2 hours 30 minutes before dusk. Nice, perfect. This is good, folks. We're getting this village stuff done, then we're going to be able to get to rest right here, so that's good timing. Okay, we're going to last call this. See what people think. $vote 1 to tell them about the healing potion. $vote 2 not to. Going once. Going twice. Okay. I have this healing potion. With a grin, he picks up the bottle gently, jiggles it, weighs it in his hand, then puts it on the counter. Great. Now let's hope my little girl will not get herself swallowed by a dragon. So, we said 5 rings. So, do we tell him it's yours for 5? Or do we say, you know, I could get 8 coins for it and pelt? Now, we are trying to gather their trust for this village, so keep that in mind, chat. I'm not saying we can't do number 2 if you want to, but if we're trying to get their trust, we probably don't want to start by bleeding them for everything they can, every coin they can give us. Even if I think the mayor's a little sketchy. And I do. Let's be sneaky. All right, I'm going to last call this since chat seems fairly convinced about it. Going once. Going twice. Okay. It's yours, wins. He smiles and looks for the coins in a large pouch. Thanks, O bringer of good news. Okay, so now we've got +5. Let's see what we've got in terms of furniture or barrels of food. 'Tis hard to say, aye? What do travelers need? He clears his throat and turns away to have a look at his store. While some of the crates and barrels are empty, they carry an assortment of odds and ends. Tools made of wood and stone, pots, mugs, seeds, vegetables, and fabric. It takes him a few minutes to look through the wares. He puts 3 packages on the countertop, and as he unwraps the first one, you recognize what it is by the shape alone. Tell me this is nae a beauty. He chuckles and lets you hold the shiny battle axe. The haft is long, but the head is light. I know what you're thinking. Your eyes say everything. He praises the weapon loudly, but you barely listen to him. You see your reflection in the unused blade, as sharp as they get. You're not a smith, but you see not a spot of rust. When you take a swing, it takes hardly any effort. The leather straps holding the pieces together are just a decoration, and the handle is as smooth as glass and perfectly fits into your hand. I see. Oh, nice, kitten. That's awesome. Yeah, even, you know, if it's an hour and a half a week, that's a good start, though, and you're getting it every week, which is consistent, too. That's awesome. You like it, aye? The man chuckles. I doubt you can afford it, but do not worry. That's nae all I have. His long fingers tap against the parchment windows of a lantern. Its frame is cheap and made of oak. 'Tis glued and 'tis quiet, he says, while shaking it in the air. Nae as fancy as the iron ones with oil, but you can carry it in caves without luring all the corpse-eaters and goblins. Perfect for a traveler. Just take a look. Inside the lantern, you find a place for a candle. Not a great match for people living in wooden houses. Hide and glue are nae easy to make, but I'll nae ask for more than 4 rings. The last sack is as wide as a saddle and 3 hands tall. It contains a whole bunch of undyed linen sheets. We usually keep them for traders, but we could use a few dragon rings. And who knows if there's ever going to be a next caravan. He gives you a long look. Interested? Depends on what you want for it. Alright, so here's what we've got. A new battle axe. 15 gold, which is, we don't have that. We've got 5. 10, that's way too much. We can't afford that either. Or a wooden lantern, primitive but convenient, for 4. So, very simple question, chat, which is, do we buy the lantern or not? $ vote 1 says we do buy the lantern. $ vote 2 says we don't. We've got 5, so if we bought it, we'd have 1 left. We are going to need a room. We don't know how much a room is yet, so we are going to need to get a room. And the inn is the next place that we're going. So we are going to have to think about that also. So, yeah. Do we have a lantern? That's an excellent question. Let me see. We have a couple of candles. Whoops. We have a couple of candles. We got a horse, a gambeson, a rope, writing instruments. No, we do not have we don't have a lantern. We do not. We do not have a lantern. Or a torch. So, $ vote space 1 if you want to get it. If you want to get the wooden lantern, $ vote space 2 if you don't. I mean, the fact that we have the 5 coins, we probably Yeah, we may need to hold on to money. I mean, we could also, I suppose, see what we have to sell, but I don't think we have any goods to sell particularly. Keep on doing your vote, and as you're voting, I'm going to look and see what things we do have to sell. Yeah, he's not interested in any of this stuff. Okay. All right, so yeah. So it's whether we spend the money that we have. He apparently does not like junk. That's the rumor. $ vote space 1 to buy the lantern. $ vote space 2 to not buy the lantern. We have, as I mentioned, only 5 at the moment. So if we only have 5 coins, so this would use 4 of them. Now maybe the inn will only cost 1 coin, but we don't know that yet. This battle axe would be pretty sweet, but 15's way more than we have, and the linen fabric is more than we have also. So. Okay, last call, last call. Going once. Yeah, that's true, Friendly. It's possible that they might give us like a discount. Yeah. Okay. Sounds like Chad is suggesting that we pass. I kind of agree. I feel like that's a little too rich. Okay, so now we're going to go talk to the innkeeper. Could use a room. Sure thing, he nods. My kids keep it cleaner and you're fine in the city. Just tell me when you're ready. Okay. So we can sleep 2 hours, 15 minutes. Let me just check something about the square. Ah, okay. It's too late to ask the locals about work, but we have a couple of other things we could check. So let's check these other places before we go to sleep, since we have a place now to sleep. Bion the Tailor. You follow the guard's directions and reach the whitewashed building standing on the western bank next to a small garden of flowers and herbs. It's well kept and clean, with a plain, beaten front yard and parts covered with sand. Through the open windows you catch a glance at the furniture, made of smooth, almost shiny wood, with hints of dark cherry-like red decorated with carvings of plants. A woman in her 40s is sitting on a wooden bench. The table is covered with fabrics, threads, and needles made of bone and iron. She's sewing a long sleeve to what's going to become a blue tunic. Her movements are quick and confident. Her brown, wavy, shoulder-length hair is tied into a wreath-like braid, but other than that, her clothes are simple and inconspicuous. She doesn't have a left leg, but you don't notice any cane. You observe her for a few moments until, without sparing you so much as a glance, she encourages you to speak with a grunt. Or you need it for something. Yeah, no, I hear you, Fane. Okay, I'm looking for a tailor. You found one. Her voice is low and she doesn't stop her work. Name's Bion. Do you answer a couple questions? The boredom in her voice is palpable. I'm Nea Bard. Alright, let's see how much for clothes. She stops her work and looks at you briefly. I can tell you don't hear even a hint of mockery, but that's a lot of work and I do not take my work lightly. If I were to give you anything, people would see it, and then let you show them some rags. And by that, you mean your prices are high. You reach for a pouch, and she answers with a nod. It'll take me a day or so to finish in a fine fabric. Your city clothes are, she frowns, just fine for the wilderness, I guess. What I'll give you is for the time with lamb meat and mead and a pathfinding. The longer the outfit you want, the higher the price, though I'll consider the things people say about you as well. Woof! Okay, this is a little pricey. A fancy tunic, fitting for a rich city official, takes 1 day of work, 24. A fancy robe to make you look like a merchant takes 2 days of work, 29. A fancy dress, good for a socialite or a diplomat, takes 2 days of work, pay 34. Now, this is going to be good for our appearance eventually, chat, because right now we just have... Basically, we're just wearing our city clothes and we have a dirty face, and so people don't necessarily trust us. But we cannot afford that at all, so that's going to take a little while. So we're going to have to kind of keep that in mind. Okay, what about my gambeson needs some work? You take it off and point at a few abrasions. The woman follows your finger patiently. I take from 2 to 5 dragon rings for fixing jackets, but you'll never get any more from this one. To get it truly strong for longer, I'd need it to be made of better materials like spider silk. What about spider silk? 'Tis a silk made by spiders. She's the first one to break the silence. The large ones, they use it to spin webs. It's stronger than thread, but my neighbors do not walk to the woods no more. It's getting harder and harder to get any silk. Prices are high. Aye, as high as my work's worth. Okay, jacket's as good as it can get. In 15 minutes, your clothes will get patched and tidy, but your outfit needs no work. 2 hours, parts of its thread will be replaced by the spider silk, so we'd have to pay 20, but that would improve our gambeson. But again, we don't have the money yet. So spider silk, we'll keep that in mind, or we do more for that. Okay, 2 hours, 15 minutes. Let's go to the local priest and talk to them. And then once this is done, then we sleep. You head south of the dead tree in the main square. Before you get to the second thatched building, a large man stands up from a bench and gets into your way. He's close to 50, taller than most people you've seen in your life, broad-shouldered. His hair and short beard are brown, matching his elegant woolen robe. A thick club is attached to his right wrist with a leather strap. He left his sandals by his sitting spot. Many want to speak with our guides and teachers, he speaks with a solemn, strong voice. But you're nae welcome here. Turn back, stranger. Yeah, exactly, kitten. All right, well... So, let's see what the options are. Can I know why? That's question number one, answer one. Answer number two is I'm your new Roadwarden. Are you sure that no soul here needs my assistance? Third one is I don't want any trouble. Fourth one is so be it. Fourth one is suck it, you piece of garbage. Dung. No. Just kidding. Okay, so, can I know why? I'm your new Roadwarden. Are you sure no soul here needs my assistance? I don't want any trouble, or so be it, I turn back. So some big dude is just like, you can't speak to our priests. Really? Do you want to speak to my axe? I asked you a question. Yeah, I can see several options here. It really does. Want to take the edge off. Listen, man, I don't want to cut you off, but, you don't seem that sharp, know what I'm saying? Just answer my question. Chop, chop. Alright, last call. So far no one's chose the, I guess there is no real antagonistic option. So. Alright, going once. Going twice. Alright, can I know why? You can! He swings his polished heavy weapon. You're from the outside and can they be trusted. The boors and slaves of the United Church would crush us if they had a chance. Before we allow you to spy on us, we need to be sure it is worth it. Okay, so now... basically the same thing we just talked about, except one different change, which is... you say, I'm not a spy. That's $ vote space 1. I'm your new Roadwarden, $ vote space 2. Don't want any trouble, $ vote space 3. Or so be it, I turn back. The classic suspicious of outsiders. The absolute classic. Sounds like everyone is in favor of being like, hey, I'm your new Roadwarden. No one wants to just say I'm a spy. You've never even told me that you're not a spy. Like, if you'd just be honest. Okay. So, I'm your new Roadwarden. His harsh look softens. We can handle ourselves. If that changes, Elpis will summon you. Okay. So now the question is, chat. How do we respond? Do we say, I'm not a spy, I don't want any trouble, or so be it, I turn back? So 3 options now. About this dude. Not a spy, I don't want any trouble, so be it, I turn back. Choice 4, I decapitate the man with one swing, then turn around, snarl, and fall on the next people. Geralt style, I wipe out half of the people in the village until they agree to. I'm just kidding. We would never do that. Okay, we're going to last call. Boom. 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 I love a tie. Yeah, well, you and my regular and mod Dragon Spear, who also often trolls with the tie. Troll tie, if you will. Going once. Going twice. All right. So we're going to turn back. All right. It's too late to ask the locals about their work, so we're going to go to the main square. We're going to go to the innkeeper. And we are... I want to just double check and ask about food rations. Ah. Interesting. Oh, now this is interesting. Okay, now I'm glad I asked this. I hadn't asked about food, and I knew that was the last thing to check with. But check this out. There's more than food here. So, I keep them in the hall. Smoked mutton, a sack of dried fruits, nuts, and biscuits. We eat fresh here and pay with work. Coins are nae worth much. When he thinks, his lips move as well. Let's say 1 ring for enough food to fill you for 2 days. In Hovlevin, that kind of price would buy you 3, even 4 times as much food. If you're in a mood for spending, I also have something special. Just give me a minute. He goes upstairs and returns with a small wooden box and a hand-long leather sheath. 'Tis a teeth set. You're afraid of what he's going to show you, but when he opens the box, you realize he meant teeth cleaning. See? He points at 3 different compartments. Salt, cloves, and mint. You mix whatever you want here. The 4th holds only a small pestle made of polished stone. And here are the twigs you need. They'll last for months. Seeing you're not convinced, he takes a deep breath. Well, we do not let outsiders bathe in our creek, but give me 2 dragons and I'll ask my kids to get you in shape. You'll get a tub with soap and rose oil and they'll wash your clothes in water. I'll cook you something nice, as much as you can eat. Okay, now we're talking our language, chat. So here's the question, like... all of this looks good, and, like, these 2 in particular... that teeth cleaning set probably is going to help with our appearance, and we need this also because of the bath with the laundry. The food rations are not bad either, but we do have food rations already. We've got 2 as it is. So I like the idea of a proper bath with laundry because we desperately need that. But that teeth cleaning set is also awesome. So I guess the question is, chat, what should we get? I don't know whether a room costs anything either. Food rations. Bath and dinner. So there are your choices, chat. A good bath. What's up, Zinnick? Yes, it is an RPG. It's kind of a text-driven RPG in a lot of ways, but we're playing it together with chat, making decisions. So $vote space 1 would get food rations. We do have 2 food rations already. 2 gold would get us bath and dinner, which would give us as much food as we can eat and a proper bath with laundry. And our appearance, right now we're dirty and our appearance is not very good. So that actually can have an effect on how people look at us. A teeth cleaning set probably also helps with that too. But the question is what we get. So we have 5 gold total. I don't know whether a room costs anything. We could afford to get, as you can see, bath and dinner and a teeth cleaning set, or teeth cleaning set and rations, or any one of these individually. So, but that bath and dinner is appealing, I would agree. I know, I'm really stuck too with the same thing. I wasn't sure, Effect Life. Bath is always appealing. Great minds hesitate alike, yes. Well, just because our appearance is at 1, which is really bad, some people hesitate to trust us because we look like crap right now. So I was thinking a bath and dinner might be a good call. The teeth cleaning set might be good for like long term though. So I don't know. But all right, last call. Going once. Going twice. Okay. Bath and dinner it is. I think this is a good idea. You don't keep track of time, easing your soul with warm water and whiffs of oil. You're served fresh rye bread, a sausage, a bowl of berries, and a mug of malty beer. Other than the beer, that all sounds good. While the youngsters wash their clothes in the stream. After an hour, we return to Eric's. Okay. We're clean and tidy. People are more willing to trust us. Hey, there we go. So let's see what the rations would be. We don't need this. So now the question is, chat. All right, so we did that. That was a good call. That definitely helped us out quite a bit. So now the question is, we don't need the bath and dinner. So now the question is, do we pay him the remaining 3 that we have for the teeth cleaning set? So do we pay food rations, which is 1 gold. Again, we already have 2 of those rations and we're full up. We don't need any food now, technically. Do we get the teeth cleaning set for 3 gold or do we get nothing? We have 3 gold left, so it would use our gold, but we could do it if we wanted. And yeah, that's true, Effect Life, it could be. I like looking at that star and seeing that thing half full instead of 1/5 full. Okay. Last call. Going once. Last call going twice. Okay. Nothing it is. Yeah, I don't blame everyone for that choice. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, sleep. Okay, good. All right, so here we go. Now, here are our options, and you can see what this will do. So, we can either sleep on a mouflon pelt. That's a heavy, unpleasant smell coming from the cauldron. At least the fur is fluffy, you cover yourself with your blanket. Or we can sleep in a room with a comfy bed, a locked door, a lot of space. You also get a large breakfast, a wash tub with water and soap, and cleaning for your shoes and underwear. And that would also help our health, chat. So if we use that, we'll have 1 gold left. This is why we saved the extra money. So I think we may have made a good call there. So do we sleep on a pelt and give up the, like, to keep our 2? Or do we spend, that's $ vote space 1. Or do we go $ vote space 2 to sleep in a room? We would still have a gold left even after we pay for this. So, and I think the benefit of this is that we get health. Nourishment would be fine. We might even we would get a bonus, I think, even to our appearance. So, means that we're going to be a longer way from getting that toothbrush, but you know. Yeah, the 2 health and appearance is pretty nice. All right. Last call, last call. Going once, going twice. Oh, sleeping in a room is really nice. And safer, yeah. Who the hell knows what else is going to come? Yeah, exactly. And just arrive on the scene. All right. Okay. Sounds like people are in favor of this. Sleep time. Your first sleep ends, but your usual 1-hour break is instantly disrupted by noise. You stand up, walk to the window, and see the reason for the commotion. A group of workers is just outside the inn, drinking and laughing. Eric's the innkeeper is also among them. You could join them, but if you do so, you won't get a good sleep tonight, and after such a long day, you may end up exhausted. So, do we rest, chat? Or do we say it's an opportunity to show that I'm not an outsider, I can sacrifice a bit of sleep? $ vote space 1 to rest. $ vote space 2 to show that I'm not an outsider, I can sacrifice a bit of sleep. This is a tough one. On the one hand, the villagers, obviously getting trust for them is good. On the other hand, it is true that sleep is important also, and it was quite a day. So, this is tough. I don't know how I would vote on this. Yeah. If you want to change it, by the way, Kitten, you can go $ change vote, space, and then the number. If you want to switch it. Okay. Oh, I totally forgot. I didn't put the... shoot. Well, I'm not going to do it now, but I completely forgot to switch over to the... oh, wait. No, do I need to do that? I may not even need to do that. Because I think we now have a... Yeah, we do. Yeah, I forgot that the new system Effect Life put into place. This is GOG Comms Purple. I completely forgot about that. Check that out. It is a GOG Com unique theme, everybody. Completely forgot about that. It is white. White and purple. It's not dark mode, but I love very much that it's got this look. There are other colors, but this is the quick the GOG Com version of it. Okay, last call, last call. We have other ones that do this as well, but okay. Closed. I just want to rest. During your time in Hovlevin, you learned how to ignore drunken crowds. You can relax and return to your routine. I sharpen my blade and go back to sleep. You spend the night in peace in a clean bed with a tightly shut window and a warm blanket. In the morning, you find a stool. I'm surprised it didn't go up to 4, but we did get more vitality. Placed by your bed, covered with a decent stew with white bread to dip. Once you get dressed and go downstairs, a young boy, who's covered in mud and speaks unusually loud enthusiastically, mentions that Swift has already been brushed and watered. You nod, but he runs outside without noticing it. The innkeeper is sitting near the door, from time to time carrying out another bowl with either stew or gruel. Face is nowhere to be seen. All right. Well, let's talk to the innkeeper. Because we're going to ask about work, chat, as we had agreed. Someone contact you about work for me? Very much so. Ask for Timo. She's usually at the creek just outside the southern wall doing laundry. She wants to find herself a husband. There's nae much in it for you unless you'll be here for the marriage rites, but it'll make her happier. Okay, so we've got that. Let's take a look at the trader. Here to see me? Just a minute, I usually start a bit later. Man walks by you and goes behind the counter where he starts to unpack and inspect his wares. Speak while I'm young. Okay, we don't have anything else to do with that. So I leave the square. Okay, so the druids won't agree to see me yet. So the question is, chat, while we're here, do we look for Timo the washwoman or do we offer our services to the guards? This is to get money and also to ingratiate ourselves to the villagers. Actually, I don't even need to do that. I can just do that as a simple one or twice. Because the tailor, we don't have the money for, I think. Let me double check on that quickly. Actually, yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So we've got two options. We can either look for Timo the washwoman or offer our services to the guards. $vote space 1 means we look for the washwoman. $vote space 2 means we offer our services to the guards. Oh, I mean, if you want to do that, I don't know if you're able to build that in as a theme, Affect Life, but you could do that. I'm good either way. I think this looks really cool. So I like that. Dark mode stuff is all cool too. Okay. All right. Last call, last call. Last call. Okay. All right, back you made coffee. All right. Okay, so it looks like we are looking for Timo the washwoman. Let's do it. It is from the game, Zephyr, yeah. And it is kind of hypnotizing. I like it, although they could do a little more with it, in fairness, than they do, but... Before you reach the gate, you find 3 washwomen who are walking down the path, chatting loudly. The wet hair on their arms and legs shine, contrasting the mud on their feet. Some of them wear soaked shirts, all have their heads wrapped in kerchiefs. You know from the city how hard and sometimes dangerous their job can get. You glance over their laundry baskets filled with clothes, and buckets of urine. Once they notice you, one of them puts her things next to a fence and tells the others to go ahead without her. Her companions giggle, but loyally leave the two of you alone. I was so helping to speak with a traveler. She starts and looks away. Wherever she speaks, she's both very direct and distracted, struggling to explain her plans. After a brief conversation, you try to sum it all up. So you seek a man who'd agree to take part in the marriage rites of your druids. She nods energetically, but then freezes. She's tanned from work, but her face is young and smooth, and since her hair is hidden, her bright hazel eyes keep drawing your attention. Nay, just any man, she interrupts you angrily. Someone who stays in the sun and works hard for us and our kids. You ask if she has any children already, and after another minute of her awkward explanations, you take a guess that she doesn't. You ask if it would make a difference for her to move to a different village. We live good lives here, safe and plentiful. I'd rather stay, but I could leave with a safe convoy. Okay, so still looking for Timo, is looking for a match. Right there. Ask around, Lord Defendant seeks a match for the approaching spring. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. All right, let's offer our services to the guards then. So, you'll join a group of guards and workers that are meant to remove branches and other obstacles. You'll keep them in touch with the village. Task will take you about half a day and may get dangerous. What do we think, chat? This will get us 2 gold, so do we say thumbs up or thumbs down on this? Sorry, my chair is... What's going on with this chair? Okay. Yeah, for sure. So, let me put that up as a poll. So what do we think, chat? $ vote space 1 means that we clear the path. So we'll take the job and we'll work for 2 gold is what it would give us. So we'd be up to 3. If we turn it down, then we won't do that. And then we may have to probably either hang around or leave because we don't really have a lot else here that we can do until we get some more money. We're trying to also get the attention of the villagers and sort of like do things for them. We might have to leave and come back once we've done this, actually, so we can go to other villagers and help out. That's the idea. Clearing the paths. Okay, going once. Going twice. All right. We're going to do it. Let's work for the money. They work hard for the money. It turns out you don't have much to do. You get your job done quickly and with little difficulty. Okay, our appearance dropped down to 2 out of 5, but we don't stand out from the crowd. And so that's good. It's too late to ask the locals about work. It's about 9 hours before dusk, so we still have time. We go to the main square. We approach the inn. We've got the thing with there. Let's talk to the mayor. Okay. Nothing else new there. 8 hours, 45 minutes. Okay. So we've got the mayor, the innkeeper, and a Kato. So, basically the question is whether or not we're going to get... Oh, not this one. We can't afford any of that. Okay. So we don't want to get the bath and dinner. We're pretty much all set with that. The question is whether we're going to get the teeth cleaning set or the food rations or nothing. And then we probably need to leave. So, the question is, chat, do we get food rations? We have 2 already. That's 1 gold. We have 2 already. This would be another 2. Do we get a teeth cleaning set? Which is 3 gold. And that'll be all of our gold. Or leave. We're not staying in this village probably tonight anyway, so... Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. So yeah, so $ vote space 1 if you want to buy the food rations. That's 1 gold. We do already have 2 food rations, but this would give us extra. Teeth cleaning set is 3 gold. We have enough. That would use up all of our gold, but we would have the teeth cleaning set. Or leave. And leave would mean we're leaving the village leave, because, yeah. Most people... I think people have been worried about spending money when we feel like we may need it, and I totally understand that. Call. Unclear, Chedville. The appearance thing is this star thing that you can vaguely see on the right side next to the right above chat. Right now that's a 2 out of 5. When the higher that number it is, the more people will react favorably to us. We don't know what the teeth cleaning set is. I assume it helps your appearance. Right now we're at 2 out of 5, which means it's just sort of like in the middle. It's neutral. When we had a bath and dinner, we got as far up as 3 out of 5. So it could be important. I don't know how much though, you know. That's the only information I have to work with. Teeth cleaning said live a little. Live a little. Clean your teeth once in a while. All right. Going once. Going twice. Okay. So we are going to leave. All right. Okay. Okay. So now travel. Now let me remind everybody about where the places are that we could go. So in general, we're trying to explore the peninsula. We have another 38 days or so to do that. We're trying to help others as we do it. We're trying to find the Roadwarden, a previous Roadwarden to us. His name is Asterion. She thinks, the mayor of Howler's Dell thinks that he's in the northern villagers. The eastern path, there's some issues with maintaining their roads. That's Creeks, a hunting village in the far north. That's also to the north. The druid from the cave asked us to travel to Gale Rocks and look for a fisher named Photios, collect his debt, which is a male empress carp, and bring it back in one piece to the cave. That also is to the north. Escort the scavenger. That would be returned tomorrow, but make sure the route leading to Howler's Dell isn't blocked by obstacles. So we may want to go do that first. Go there to and then bring them up to Howler's Dell. And then Glossia's band. These are raids that are also the northern villagers. Matchmaking, we have to go to other villages. Face wants me to spy for her. We have to go to villages for that. So basically, we have all this different stuff that we had to do. We already did that, so that's completed. So basically, the first thing we need to do if we're going to get this done is go back south, where we can pick up the ruins and then bring him up to Howler's Dell. So I'm actually going to do that because that's the only... We need to do that today. First of all, fish trap. We got 3 fish. I step away. You should eat them soon before they spoil. Prepare your axe, open lid, reach for your catch. Stun the animals one by one with 2 careful blows on the top of their heads. Finish them off with a knife, cutting underneath the gill plates. Spend another minute or 2 bleeding out the fish in the stream, then cover them with a waxed linen sheet. You should eat them soon before they spoil. Okay, let's set the fish trap again. All right. Okay. Right. Scavenger's camp. Okay. You see scraps of metal organized in pile while the old furniture has been dismantled into loose planks. I'm doing this because we had agreed we were going to help this guy and then be done with him, so I'm just doing that now without having to ask chat because we had already agreed to that. Hey, Roadster! The man looks tired and his beard is sticky, but he smiles at you. If you're ready, I'll start packing the tent. If you don't want to wait, start putting the iron on your mount a bit quicker. Just say the word and we can leave. Okay, taking you to Howler's Dell. The scavenger keeps asking you to watch out for beasts and wraps the sharper scraps of iron in his cape. Folding the tent and putting it on your horse takes a while, and neither of you can sit down on the large pile of sacks and bundles. There's a long walk ahead of you, but for Swift it won't be much of a burden. Once you clear the room, you walk away. At first you hear only the birds and horseshoes. Then the man starts to whisper. Faster, eh? The apes are looking at us. You don't see any proof of that. Nothing we can do about it. I lead us to the northern road. Oh, we got beasts coming. Okay, hold on. What is this now? Oh, cool. All right, hang on a second, chat. I have an addition. Okay, hang on a second. I'm about to make an improvement, chat. Courtesy of the amazing Effect Life. So hang on a second. Just reading my directions here. Okay. Now let's see how that worked. Okay, it's loaded. So now, let's pop that up. There's the polls. Okay, now let's see what we have with our theme. Okay, there's that. Aha! Gray and purple. There we go, chat. It's GOG, but dark mode. Hey, looking good. Thank you, Effect Life. Look at that. That's good stuff right there. Nice. All right. Very nice. Thank you, as always. Effect Life making adjustments on the fly. That is a little less bright on the eyes, so I think that's probably good for people looking at us. So good stuff. Lovely. That thing looks awesome. You should go to Effect Life for all your bot programming needs, by the way, Chad. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. Yeah, look at that. Good stuff. Thank you. Okay. Right, so you move forward, slowed down by having to secure the bundles on Swift's back and carry your own bags. After half an hour, the man asks for a break. Even though you shared your food with him, he's not fully recovered from days of hunger, but the farther away you get from the ruins, the more cheerful and talkative he gets, mostly speaking about the thing he needs to buy and how much he hated the damn place. Then the beasts show up. Well, crap. Combat time, chat. 2 dragonlings, each about 5 feet long, approach you from opposite sides, getting ready to charge at you. They lash their tails and screech, but you know that panicking and running away is the worst thing you can do. They're fast, used to chasing their prey near the roads, with a much larger advantage in an empty field than in the forests. Even on a horse, you could barely outrun them, and your best option now is to hold your ground. The scavenger knows it as well. He fires his crossbow, hitting one of the predators right in the skull. It clumsily falls down without another breath. The other dragonling jumps forward, surprisingly silent. The man reaches for a dagger, not much longer than the monster's teeth. Okay, we don't have a crossbow, we don't have any potion to help, so either we defend ourselves or we say, step aside, I've got this. I move in front of the scavenger even if it puts myself in danger. All right, chat, so what's it going to be? Do we just defend ourselves, or do we try to defend the scavenger? $ vote space 1 to defend ourselves, $ vote space 2 to defend the scavenger. Combat power. Boom. Don't. All right, last call. Going once. Going twice. All right. We are closed, and we're going to step aside. I've got this. You step in front of the scavenger, and the beast speeds up. You dash away just in time, dodging not only the creature's jaws, but also its entire shell. Turns out it tried to jump on you. You step left and forward, having a single breath to take a wide swing across its neck. The head flies away and wetly thuds into the ground. Dang. The man laughs from shock. Thank ye, he pants heavily. It was way too fast. If I were in your place, I'd be dead by now. I better load the ballista again, eh? You take a moment to judge the situation. Neither of you is hurt, but a not-so-distant howling already reaches your ears. You can't take the dead animals with you. Swift won't be able to carry much more. However, a few claws could be exchanged for a dragon bone or two. So, we could use the money, but... So the question is, do we cut away one of the monster's paws? Let's hurry, wolves are going to catch the smell of blood soon. Or, I don't need more blood, I rush the man and leave this place. So $ vote space 1 to cut off one of the monster's paws and then leave. $ vote space 2 to just leave without waiting around. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, last call, last call. Boom. 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 All right, going once. Oh, tie. All right, we're going to need someone to break this tie, folks. Going to need someone to break this tie. $ vote space 1 to cut away one of the monster's paws. $ vote space 2 to just leave without doing that. And if anyone wants to change their vote, they can go $ change vote space and then the number. No, I don't want to leave it. No, the streamer will not choose. I always try to be very hardcore about that. Wolf Cell said voted 2. Oh no, it's tied up again. Hey, Mrs. Dunsel, how are you? Chat is very divided on this subject. All right, we need one more vote to break this tie. $ vote space 1 to cut away one of the paws. $ vote space 2 to get to GTFO. And you could go $ change vote space and then the number if you want to switch it, Wolfsoul. Yeah, you go $ change vote space and then the number. So not change, change vote. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Close, but it's $ change vote, not exclamation point. All the symbols. We need to have another bot that uses ampersand and another bot that uses parentheses. Okay. And we're going to close that. Cut away one of the monster's paws. All right, we got a dragonling's paw. The man breathes heavily but doesn't ask for a break. Once you get close to the village, he lets out a sigh of relief. That's one soothing view, aye. The guards open the gates quickly and take care of the scavenger's bundles, which Swift welcomes with a nicker. The man answers a couple of questions and asks if anyone has found his pack bird. After a short conversation, he stretches out loudly and looks at you. Ha! Now I don't have to point my ballista at the door whenever I hear paws in the pavement. Once you mention the reward, his face gets serious. So like I told you, if you want your coins, you have to come back tomorrow when my pouch gets heavier. But I can and would prefer to give you the potion that repels ape men instead. It's useful, but not as much in the south as it is here in the woods. Okay, so the question is, chat, do we hold out for the 5 gold, which we would get tomorrow, or do we take the jar that repels the ape men? So I'm going to open that up. $ vote space 1 if we want to get the 5 dragon coins of 5 gold, and $ vote space 2 if we want to take the jar of the stuff that repels the ape men. Sure. Well, part of the problem is for this one we can, but the thing is that other I'll put this down like there. There are other ones where we have full choices though, where that doesn't work. So I can do that for now. That way you get at least some of the picture. And then when the poll's in between, when the poll is off, I just turn it off so you don't see it at all. Okay. So yeah, so what do you think, chat? Looks like most people are saying take the jar. Yeah, I mean, like, that's one of those, like, I don't know. In a lot of these games, I always think about taking the unique items over just the money. Obviously, the money is also helpful because, you know, but still. All right, last call. All right, so that combat went pretty well, actually. It didn't really affect our appearance. Our nourishment was fine. Although being super well-nourished helped with that fight, so that's good. Vitality 3 out of 4. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to close that because people want to take the jar. Ha, I'm glad. He unpacks a large jar made of clay. I'm not going to lie, Roadster, it's pure troll urine, he chuckles. Don't ask me how I got it, If you want to scare off some ape men, use it before they see ye. Trolls eat 'em all the time, so they stay away for as long as they can. You imagine that you can feel the warmth of the jar. Well, I won't miss it. I'll be here for at least a couple days. You'll find me around if you need me. After all my recent camping, I'm going to spend a few hours kissing this nice, strong wall. He starts to laugh and walks away, waving goodbye. So that's probably going to make us look terrible to people normal, but in the freaking forest, that's pretty good. You got troll urine? Okay. So... all right. You approach the inn. We got 3 hours before dusk. It's getting darker, but not much colder. More than a dozen locals are gathered at or by the tables playing dice or other games, drinking, eating supper, or simply chatting. Innkeeper standing behind his counter filling mugs with beer or buttermilk, while his daughter is cleaning the tables with a wet cloth and carrying around a bucket of stream water. Thace is standing near the bank giving commands to a group of armored guards. Trader is packing his goods, though with no rush. He's talking with a man who's sewing sacks on a nearby stool. Scavenger's sitting at a table eating gruel from a bowl. So let's talk to the scavenger because we can actually get some information from him. And as I mentioned, when I can get information, I'll usually do that without asking because it's helpful to get info from them. So, Roadster, need any things? I want to learn more about the Peninsula. Tell me about yourself. You must understand. You're a roadster. People ask you for help. They don't think you'll steal from them when they're in their beds. He pats his bag. It's not the same when you're a drifter. They don't ask me to stay to marry their kids or to help them with the harvest. They just ask if I plan to pay for the room or buy stuff. You talk for quite some time, though it's difficult to uncover the details hidden in his tale. He claims he and his packbird came here by boat, about which he refuses to speak. He landed just next to Gale Rocks, a large fishing village near the northern shore, where we're supposed to go at some point fairly soon, by the way. People there were irritable and unwilling to idly chat with him, but opened their mouths after he helped them at the smokehouse. On sunny days, the locals hunt on the shore, and when it gets dark, they hide behind the walls, gutting the fish. And when the weather goes to shit, they boil water for salt and put fish in it, then hop to the barrels. Oh, I don't know, they don't have many trees around. Then they sell the meat to the villages and you know, places. Clears his throat. For crops. I was told to stay away from white marshes, though no shell told me why. I joined a group of fish traders who were going to Old Pagos and its monastery. But I hate that place. Everyone does. He shrugs. I traded there for a bit. The villages are cold. They spend days praying and talking on and on about their duty, and they're gray like an ashworm. So I left at dawn, me and my bird, and wasn't that a mistake? He was attacked by a short bear-like creature. He tried to run away, but following his bird was a bad idea. He fell over in the thicket so the monster had time to get to him. I hit it with a bolt, wasn't enough. I kick it so it bites my legs, tears my flesh away. I almost dozed off from the pain, but can you believe it? That lazy bird came back and charged at it with its beak. His dagger was enough to get through the surprised animal's belly. It ran away. How did you survive with such deep wounds? The bird was patient. It let me lean on it. My ballista scared Griffs away and we got to Howler's Dell. That's where I found the elders. They agreed to heal me, but only for coin, and told me it's an exception. After a few questions, you're sure that by the elders he means the local druids, held by the villagers in great esteem. They didn't want to talk with me a whole lot, said I'm impudent. His tone is filled with mockery. You hear that? I spent time with Thace, at least she wasn't so boring. So why'd you leave Howler's Dell alone? It wasn't smart to move to the ruins all by yourself. Ha! I shouldn't tell and I won't. You already know all that you need to. Alright, tell me about yourself. I could tell you stories for days, but who cares? He chuckles. I'm just doing my own thing, moving from wall to wall, sleeping where they left me, selling what I can, buying what I need, saving dragons for another day. Life is a highway, stranger. I want to ride it all night long. You're going my way. I'm going to drive it all night long. I used to be a sailor. People called me Pyros because of the, he points at the burned skin on his forehead. But I'm not one to push a plow or patch ship sails all day long. I don't care if a corpser eats my bones one day. I'd rather be free for a few years and cage myself in fear for decades. And I'm damn good at staying safe, or rather I was before I landed at this shithole. He touches the scars on his face. I haven't gotten one of these in years, but it didn't take 2 weeks and I almost lost my legs. Spent all my coin in Howler's Dell for Elder's magic. Not the first time I have an empty pouch, not gonna lie, but there's no coin waiting here. Once I push all the iron to the locals, I'm heading south. Though I won't ride alone, I'm not making that mistake. I've heard no ships can land on this coast. Well, he tilts his head to the right and gives you a distrustful look. But if you're patient and take your time, you can get to Gale Rocks from the sea. In a light boat or a raft or something that can avoid the rocky teeth. Sure, no hope for a ship or any trade, but with some help you can do it. But don't tell anyone I told you that. His tone gets significantly colder. It's not something people should talk about. I have some questions. How are things? Well, I've just arrived. I could tell you more tomorrow when I spend a few hours on something soft and finally spell some iron. But damn, that smell around me is quite something, isn't it? I'm jumping into the stream soon. Bye. I return to the main square. Okay, so that was Pyros. Okay, I don't have any news there. Let's see, I caught some nice fish. Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. Oh, so we can barter this fish. What do you think, chat? Should we barter some fish with the let me put that up there, because we can get some actual food for that. So $ vote space 1 means yes, we barter the fish. $ vote space 2 means we do not barter the fish. And then we're going to go talk to the trader and see if he'll give us some money for the Dragonling Claw that we got from the Dragonling. So yeah, $ vote space 1. He's like, I'll give you this teeth cleaning kit for free. The power of bartering compels you. The power of barter. Okay, last call. Right, going once, going twice. All right, so we are going to barter. He raises a fish to sniff it and holds his beard back, keeping it clean. There are many fish in our creek. I'll put them in a soup or bake them for a sauce. How many do you have? I'll give you a healthy meal for each one. I think, Chad, I'm going to say 3 because the fish is not going to last much longer. So I don't think there's anything to hold on to it for. The fact that we can't eat it ourselves means we might as well just get this. So we got 3 gold, but we've now got 5 food rations, which is pretty sweet. Okay. Now, let's go to the trader. Oh, man. I was hoping that he'd be willing to buy that Dragonling Claw. That's too bad. Could still get that teeth cleaning set, but... 2.5 hours before dusk. Okay. So, we're going to need to sleep soon. No, there's nothing there. Nothing there. Okay. So, the question now, chat, is... So right now our appearance is 2 out of 5. So basically, before we leave the village, and this time we head north, we have a couple of options. We can, we can get the bath and dinner, which is going to cost us, I think it's 2 gold. That'll feed us for the night, and it'll give us a cleaning, so it'll build up our, the thing a little bit. We'll have 1 gold left. But if we do that, it means we're not going to have enough gold to sleep in a room, and we would sleep outside on a fur. However, we were pretty well rested from yesterday, so maybe that would be enough. But, so we have to keep that in mind. Another option is to say we're not going to do that. We're not going to get the bath and dinner, and we're going to get the teeth cleaning set, and then we're going to rest on the fur, again, with the same thing I mentioned. Or we can save our money and spend it instead on the room so that we get the bath and the good night's rest. So basically the question is, do we spend... let me pull this up. The question is... Wrong thing, sorry. There we go. Okay, so the question is, do we get... Set... 3 gold, sleep on a fur. Do we get bath and dinner, sleep on a fur? Do we get and eat one of our rations if needed? All right, so we get a tooth cleaning set, 3 gold, and we sleep on a fur. We get bath and dinner, 2 gold, sleep on a fur. Or we get a room, 2 gold, and we eat a ration if needed. That's what we've got. Hey, what's up, Gaia Shield? So those are our choices. Tooth cleaning set, 3 gold, sleep on fur. Bath and dinner, 2 gold, sleep on fur. Or get a room, 2 gold, and then we eat a ration if we need to. And $ vote space 1 is the tooth cleaning set. $ vote space 2 is the bath and dinner. $ vote space 3 is the get a room. Also have a programming note upcoming, which we'll mention in just a second. And then we're going to head north out of here. Oh, yeah? I'm doing well. And yeah, this game has been a lot of fun. We are definitely making some progress now. We saved the scavenger. We got this stuff to protect us from ape men. So, actually take a look at that inventory. Stench scares goblins and pebblers away. Going once. Going twice. I agree, Chedville, yeah. It very much feels that way, I agree. Okay, so we're going to get a room and eat the rations if needed. Oh, whoops, that's wrong. All right. Sleep. I'm going to sleep in a room. So, like most people, you wake in the middle of almost every night. Before your second sleep comes, you spend an hour or two taking care of your belongings, shell, and soul. Some people spend this time with their friends, families, or lovers, but your routine is different. If you don't have to take care of essential tasks, what do we do, chat? This is more of that world building. So, do we stretch our muscles and work out a bit? Do we spend time outside, observing stars and listening to the wild creatures? We check on Swift. It's a good time to brush it, make sure it has everything it needs. That's our horse. It's the best time to pray and think about my dreams. Or I just stay where I am, trying to ease my soul and focus on my breathing. I feel anxious during this time. So this is, again, character building, basically, and we're deciding as a group, chat is deciding what they want to be. If you want, so $vote space 1, if at night when you wake up, you want to stretch your muscles, work out a bit. $vote space 2, if when you wake up in the middle of the night, you spend time outside observing stars and listening to the wild creatures. $vote space 3, if you check on Swift, our horse, good time to brush it and make sure it has everything it needs. $vote space 4, to pray and think about our dreams. $vote space 5, to stay where I am, trying to ease my soul and focus on my breathing. I feel anxious during this time. So again, this is sort of character building through asking questions. Quick programming note, as I mentioned, I will be with you for another 20 minutes. At 6:50, I'm going to Eastern, so 20 minutes from now, I'm going to be closing down shop because I need to go get my daughter and then bring her back and get ready for my stream tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on my channel of my amazing voice team, the Our Vocalists, doing a fully voiced production of A Christmas Carol. We do this every year. We've been doing it for many years, and I'm very excited that we get to do it again this year. So we will have Trent Sparks, Darkside Rob. Those folks are responsible for some of the Shadowrun and Battletech stuff you hear. Trent, in fact, was the voice of Espinoza, the bad guy, Santiago Espinoza, the bad guy in Battletech. And also my regulars over there, Little Red Dot and Zach Clay. So you'll have a chance to hear the four of them doing their amazing work on A Christmas Carol. That's 8 p.m. Eastern. And before that, I hope you folks are going to stick around because at 7 p.m. Eastern, Kilgore Trout, right here on this channel, is going to be doing the next gen release stream of The Witcher 3. So The Witcher 3 next gen is released as of today, and he's going to be doing the release stream of it tonight. So if you want to see what the next gen features of The Witcher 3 are, this is the time for that. So again, that's going to be here at 7 p.m. Eastern, is going to be on this channel with Kilgore and The Witcher 3 Next Gen release. And at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'll be over on my channel. Maybe you can watch both of them. I assume you'll still be watching Kilgore by then. Yeah. The release, download, and install. Either way, it'll be super exciting. Okay, last call, everybody. Also, hi, Echo. Yes, Darkside Rob is making his triumphant return because this is a tradition. It's a yearly tradition. All right, chat, what do we got? We've got a tie right now between I spend some time outside and I stay where I am, stretch my muscles, and check on Swift or behind. So either if somebody needs to vote to break this tie, or we need someone to change their vote to one of the current leading contenders. I spend some time outside or I just stay where I am. So $vote space 1 for stretch muscles, and work out, $vote space 2 for spend time outside, $vote space 3 for check on Swift, $vote space 4 for the best time to pray, and $vote space 5 for just stay where I am. Yeah, I mean, Rob is very busy, so I don't think Rob is going to be able to do this as a regular thing. But Rob comes back, tries to come back for this annual appearance. But so I'd love to have Rob still be a part of the Our Vocalist generally, but Rob is super busy guy, so I totally get that. All right, I need someone to break this tie. Please. $change vote space. So change vote space or vote for 2 to spend some time outside, or 5 for I just stay where I am. So we need someone else to break this tie, please. Someone else come in and do it. You can do it. All right, spend some time outside. Gaia Shield has done so. So has Darth Sisu. Gaia Shield, if you want to change your vote, just do $ change vote space and then the number. Wolf Souls voted for 5, so it's $ Gaia Shield. It's close. $ change vote space 2. To this dreamy music. Ah, there we go. All right, I'm going to close that down. Thank you, thank you. All right, I spend some time outside observing stars and listening to the wild creatures. It's all about them dollars. Okay. You spend the night in peace in a clean bed with a tightly shut window and a warm blanket. In the morning, you find a stool placed by your bed covered with baked artichokes with a weird but tasty roasted lizard and a few of slices of cheese. Once you get dressed and go downstairs, a young boy who's covered in mud and speaks unusually loud and enthusiastically mentions that Swift has already been brushed and watered. You nod, but he runs outside without noticing it. Okay, innkeeper's sitting near the door, so we're 4 out of 5 appearance right here. Look at this, where people are more willing to trust you and will offer you better prices. You're clean and tidy, you seem healthy. I wonder whether the innkeeper is willing to charge us less. No. Answer to that is no, but that's good to keep in mind. All right, thanks. Okay. How are things, Piros? It's not bad here, not bad at all. They bought what I could sell, but I now have to plan out to do next. I don't care. I'll wait for a couple of days, craft some things, rest from the forest. I'll leave when I leave. He scratches his cheek and beard and finally sighs. But I do feel like I've eaten a troll shit eye. When I landed here, I had my pile of bundles and trinkets, and now I'm starting with nothing again. I should have listened to the warnings. This land belongs to no man. Bye. All right, so we've done everything we can do. So first of all, let's save. Let's save this. Okay. Now I would say we're in pretty good shape, chat. Full vitality. We're in great shape. It affects our appearance. 4 out of 5 appearance. Fully nourished. 3 out of 4 armor, and we even have a gold to play with, so pretty good stuff. So that means the time has come for us to travel, chat. So, let's leave the square. Let's travel. Okay, so chat, remember that we're trying to spend our time going north to find various villages. We can explore, but we have limited days before we have to leave the land. So we can either head west or we can head north. And a lot of the information we've gotten has told us to go north. But again, that's something you can keep in mind. So $ vote space 1 to go west, $ vote space 2 to go north. Now there are villages that are northwest too, I guess, but everyone just keeps telling us to go north is all I know. So $ vote space 1 to go north. Yeah, that's the best we've looked yet. Howler's Dell actually worked out for us. And we helped the scavenger. I mean, when we get more money, we definitely want to be able to get, like, better clothes and, like, we could get that better battle axe and stuff, but, you know. So that was a good call, I think, on sleeping, you know, looking outside, basically. So again, yeah, west is 1, north is 2, and everyone has been telling us to go north to these various villages, so, for what that's worth. Hey, what's up, Vandelf? This is, I wouldn't say super new, but fairly new, Vandelf. Yeah, this is Roadwarden. We're playing this together as a group, as a collective. We are trying to free the people, so to speak. What we're really doing is we're exploring the peninsula. We're trying to help people as we do that. Ultimately, we want to be able to establish trade routes for our employers back in Haviland, which is the village, the city, really, that we came from. And so we're only about 3 days in. We have about 37, 38 days to go. We're in pretty good health right now, but we're just deciding whether to leave this village that we're in by going north or by going west. And right now we are tied 2-2. So I need someone else to make that vote. So That's fair. Yeah, that's fair, Effect Life. That's true. They are trying to herd us north, so maybe if we go west, we'll pick up some stuff. Yeah, that's a good point. $vote space 1 for west, $vote space 2 for north. Oh, yeah? A lot of good strategy. There's a new, I think I saw that there was a new Master of Magic that just released on GOG, actually. I believe. All right. Going once. Going twice. Okay, sold. Sold, and I'll get rid of this pole. So we are going to go west. The path gets greener and meanders between treacherous precipices. You ride slowly, passing by birds and ibexes, but in the distance you spot circling harpies, and below you a roaming mountain cat pursuing a mouflon. You take a sip from your water skin. The air here is a bit dry. Let's hope that the echo of hooves won't reach any larger beasts. Path leads you down again to a small, moist valley, impenetrable for a rider. The thicket is made of thorny shrubs, tall grasses, and the weak fallen boughs that nourish mosses and mushrooms. You examine the remnants of the path covered with greenish puddles. Without the roots and with a fresh layer of pebbles, it may still be restored. You look behind you. The road is clear, no ambushes so far. But if you hope to clean this place, it'd be better to do so soon. It'll only get denser with the passage of days. All right, so 2 questions, or 1 choice, chat. Either I should be done in 2 hours or so, or I'm not afraid of getting tired. I'll get this done in half the time. Now, right now, we just started, so we have 14 hours, 15 minutes before dusk. So 2 hours is not a big deal. 1 hour, we could do it for less time, but that's going to tire us out. So personally, I think I might just say take the 2 hours, but I'll leave that up to chat. $vote space 1 means I should be done in 2 hours or so. $vote space 2 means I'm not afraid of getting tired. I'll get it done in half the time, but it's going to tire us out probably. We walk to the side and we're just like, the hills are alive with the sound of Gog's chat. Yeah, but I'm trying to do it based on what you see here and what your options are. Going once. I mean, if it were early in the morning of the day, then I would be, or rather, I should say the other. If it were late in the day, then I would say let's speed it up. But, I mean, we just started, so. What's up, Trek? That's good. All right, going once. Going twice. Okay. Should be done in 2 hours or so. Your muscles, not used to such tiring work, are tired quickly, so you take a few short breaks avoiding the thorns and dirty water. When it comes to pushing aside the boughs, you breathe heavily, but you need only enough space to let your palfrey get through. Maybe the animals will start to roam this place again, beating the path. You reach a convenient mountain pass with crags smoothed out by centuries of rain and wind. The sun warms up both the vegetation and the beaten road, and the only beasts you spot are loud rooks, glancing at you from the rocks and branches. Clearing the rock slide would take hours of work and a large group of people, while forcing Swift to climb up and down could break its legs. I dismount and look around. You climb up the rocks, having plenty of spots to rest your hands. Most of them won't move even an inch. As you get closer to the small dead tree, you notice something odd among the stones. Pieces of old fabric completely covered with mold, most likely the remains of a tunic. All right, all I can do now is turn back. So, blocked by an earthquake. All right, so go north instead. Road is beaten and free of litter. You notice paths between the fruit-bearing trees on your right, and soon after that you ride alongside vast fields of broad beans, almost ready for the second harvest of the summer. Then there are the green hemp plants, taller than you are, waiting for a scythe or sickle. Locals keep the beasts at a distance, I guess. Swift's hooves thump loudly on the beaten track. The green bushes, shrubs, and trees prove that the soil here is fertile, yet the plants don't overgrow the road. These crossroads must be busy at times, maybe even patrolled. In the distant west, you see the mountain peaks dividing the lowlands from the ocean. The road east leads toward the hills, behind which there are unusually tall, dark trees. There's a dense forest in the north from which you hear the croaking of toads. The last path is already known to you. You're surrounded by 4 signposts, all of which seem to be made from the same type of wood, now covered in moss and fungi, yet the pictures and letters that covered the nailed boards are nothing alike. Okay, so again, I don't need to ask Chad about this because we're gathering information. I'll search the area. The thicket doesn't help. You notice the remains of berries and pears, but most of them are already rotting, spread close to the wooden stools at the side of the road. The nearby creek is not impressively deep, but the beaver dam, for some reason taller than you are, makes it wide and waters the surrounding soil. A few steps away from the southern signpost, you find something sticking out of a shrub. It's a moist plank covered by fungi. You try to move it with a stick and a gloved hand. After a minute or so, you confirm it's an abandoned sign covered with green letters and colorful pictures of flowers and trees. Steep house, you read with difficulty. It's okay, blah, blah, blah. Try to find out where the old sign used to be attached. The southern post is the only one with holes left by nails, okay? Nothing more to be found. Okay, so we've got the western signpost says 2 planks attached to a single post, both of them nailed with rusty steel. Lower sign is divided in 2 halves. The left edge is engraved with 4 simple shapes, squares with roof-like lines hanging above them. The other edge bears 2 engraved piles, one of them made of horizontal rectangles, the other of inexact circles. The letters between these 2 piles say stone. The upper plank is covered with a white word monastery, though it's divided in half. Right below it is an engraved vertical rectangle with an hourglass inside it. Okay, so that's the western signpost. Eastern signpost, the long plank is almost empty, bears no words, only a single picture painted with great care. Portrays a city-like gate with a watchtower to its left and right and a couple of small conifers growing beside and partially behind the towers. Southern signpost is where we just came from, Howler's Dell, and the last one is the northern signpost, attached with nails made of pointy carved bones and divided into 3 sections covered with small engravings. The part on the left has 3 large squares with roof-like lines hanging above them. No other pictures or words. The one in the middle has only 1 square, but also a simple horizontal symbol of a fish and a short word beneath. It spells salt. Image of the right has 2 roofed squares, but also 2 other images which you recognize easily, a deer and a standing barrel. Okay, so we've got basically north, as I understand it. North leads us to Gale's Rock, which is the fisherman village. We do have to go there eventually. The one on the west has got piles, and it says stone, like stone piles or something, and there's a monastery over there. That might be leading us towards the necromantic village that we heard about. And then to the east is this city with a watchtower to its left and right. So we've got a city to the east, we've got maybe the necromancer's village to the west, and then to the north we've got the fishing village we were supposed to go to as well. So for the final vote of the day, chat, final vote of the day, where are we going to go? Where should we go? Do we go west is option 1, north is option 2, east is option 3. There we go, chat. No, we came from the south. We came from the south. You can see it on the map, Effect Life. We came from the south. That's Howler's Dell. We traveled up and then again. Yeah, no problem. We went west originally, so. Oh, the destroyed sign? The destroyed sign says Steeple House on it. And it was attached to the Steeple House, Steep House, and it used to be attached to the southern post, which is where we came from. We came from the south. So that's what that's from, Echo. So yeah, west is the necromantic village, probably. At least it's the monastery. North is the fishing village that we were told we should go to. East is some city, but nobody knows what. And we're not going to go south because we just came from there. Also, if you hover over it, you can see what's there, like nighttime shelter, Elder's Cave, there's the Beholder, the ruins, Palt, that's 2 hours and 45 minutes, and then this military outpost that we first came into with. Okay, we're going to last call this. Last call. As I said, this is going to be our last vote of the evening. We're going to do this, then go east, and then I'm wrapping up. Because I'm making sure that Kilgore gets his right immediately, and I need to go pick up my daughter, and all that kind of good stuff. So, going once. Going twice. All right. Go east, young man. East is sold. The corridor of leaves and gray rocks leads you to a gate large enough for a wagon held together by a wooden bar. The planks and rocks are covered with claw marks left by various monsters, but they weren't able to damage the wall as much as the passage of time and the piercing rains. A large man covered in shadows is observing you from the roof tower. His voice is hoarse, distrustful. "You lost? I don't know your mug." And we go, and we'll have to find out next week what we actually say. Because right now what we're doing is we're wrapping up. Good stuff, though, chat. We made some very good plans here. 4 out of 4 vitality, 2 out of 5 appearance, because we did have to clean away some bushes, 2 out of 4 nourishment. We have food we'll be able to get, 3 out of 4 armor, and we explored, so we got some of that stuff as well. So, good stuff, everybody. Very good stuff. And I also, let's see, we have now played a total of 11 hours and 24 minutes, according to GOG Galaxy, on this. So, very cool stuff. All right. And special thanks as well today to Effect Life for his continued amazing work on ArvBot Plus, which has made it possible for us to do this. And we're going to play more of this next week. But this week, right now, we are getting, we're going to sign off here for Kilgore. So again, for those of you who missed this, I am going to head off now. I got to go pick up my daughter, then go back. And then at 8 p.m. on my channel, I'm going to be doing a Christmas carol with the amazing Our Vocalist, my voice team. I love doing this. We do it every year. And it's time for Christmas, I feel like, when that is done. But right now, in about 7-8 minutes, actually, you should hang around for one Mr. Kilgore Trout, who is going to be coming up with you and playing some Witcher 3 and is going to be playing the new gen, the next gen update. So you should check that out right on this channel. That is happening right at the top of the hour. If you like what you saw and heard, please follow the channel. Please sub to us here on GogCom's channel and click through and check out our individual channels as well. Otherwise, please stick around for 7 p.m. Eastern in Kilgore Trout with the Witcher 3 next gen. Thank you all for being here today. Thanks for playing with me. This is a lot of fun and we'll do more of it. And I will catch you folks down the line. Until then, everyone, please be good to each other. And I'll see you folks soon. Bye for now.